But yes,
Help.
so help! It's session 42, and it is the 1 year anniversary, pretty much, of the campaigns. We've done 42, which isn't bad actually. Out of 52 weeks, we've played 42 times, which that's actually pretty fucking good. So, we left off. You are travelling through the Sierra Tretis, the mountain range that separates Caldetta from Rolcor. You met at a campsite in Allende Prados, the Nietzsche sisters, Cosima and Balia, and they were introducing themselves to everyone at the campsite, and they asked you if you wanted to continue hiking with them. You weren't going exactly the same way as them because famously you are going to see the Druids, the Circle of Stars, and so you worked out a route, Alanis worked out a route that's going to save you some time, so you can go and see them and then cut across towards the northeast to go hook up back in Larnil. So you set off day one of this 4.5 day journey to go get to the Druids with the Nietzsche sisters, and you found a little bivouac, a sort of like a bothy wilderness cabin bivouac in the wild that you could stay in overnight, and you all did. However, in the night, during Alanis and Toki's watch, there was an explosion, a loud boom, which woke everyone up, but when you woke up, you saw the entire cabin was filled with smoke or fog, something that was obscuring, and you were effectively blinded. Through some absolutely brilliant spellcasting from Wrath. There he is, there's our boy, who cast Detect Thoughts and was able to identify that there was someone in the cabin with you, and a few others milling around outside. Alanis as well was able to utilise her sort of like planar horizon ranger feature to track the nearest rifts or portals to another plane, and in some way as well was able to track where these people were hanging around on the map. You kind of fought them off, but it was hard to, because when you got very close to these people and tried to look at them, there was a sort of distortion around them, something your brains refused to acknowledge and refused to see, and it was hard to make out details. Wraith, there we go. Wraith saw through one of these distortions and was able to see that the person attacking her and who was trying to steal the mysterious package that had been in Luca's pack was wearing a kind of green stone mask with a symbol etched into it. Wraith removed the mask and the person disappeared. Then began a funny little battle of running around after these people, just trying to see them, to perceive them. When you got too close, they take the mask off. When you nearly, sent them to 0 hit points, they would take the mask off. Finally, it came to be that there was one final person who, after taking the mask off of a fallen friend, ally, turned and ran. Wraith threw a dagger, hit this person in the back. They arched, hurt, but continued to run. And that is where we left last session. So, you all wake up in very white, sterile rooms. With...
I'm just starting with this already. Shit! She's going down!
You do not recognise where you are. The rooms are, like I say, white and sterile. They have a bed in them, sort of a plain wooden table, plain wardrobe, and you wake up on the bed, alone. You're in this room on your own. The others aren't with you. The only exception is that Luca, Alanis, is in the room with you, because it's you. You have your hiking clothes on you, the clothes that you'd be wearing during the day while you're walking, and that is all. You do not have any of your bags, any of your weapons, literally just the clothes on your back. What are you doing?
Don't love this.
Mm.
Don't love this at all.
Is there a door out of here?
You look around, Luca, and there is a door. As you kind of sit up on the bed, there is a sort of a metal door at the end of the room opposite you.
You said there was a wardrobe, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Is that the only thing to like look inside of?
Yes, yeah, you can have a little look through the wardrobe if you would like.
Oh, a quick open up before
Nice
I
one.
leave.
We'll move over to Toki. What are you doing? You're in this room on your own. You wake up. And each of your rooms has 2 beds, 2 wardrobes, I should say. But one bedside table sort of in the middle of these 2 beds.
Do I have my rabbit pendant?
You do.
Cool. I will. Do the beds look slept in?
Actually, I'm going to say you don't. You don't have your rabbit pendant.
Oh,
Okay, Tuggy's much more stressed immediately. Tuggy was like, I got my pendant, it's fine. Yeah, don't like that. Yeah, do the beds, like, look slept in?
Your one, you were just laying on the top of it. You weren't, like, tucked in or anything.
Okay.
The one opposite looks made up, like, very neatly made up.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'm heading straight for the door, then.
Nice. Wrath, what are you doing?
Can I cast spells on that?
What do you need to cast spells? You haven't got your spell
No, I'm
book.
not sure. That's what, like, am I able to cast spells without my spell book?
I don't know, actually. I don't think you can.
This is, oh shit, because I have my spell focus. My spell focus is like an amulet.
Mm-hmm.
But you're probably about to say that I don't have my amulet, so I'm cooked.
If it's an amulet, you don't have it, no. And you
So,
don't have your
I'm pretty
spell book
sure-
either.
Yeah. Actually, I'll Google the spell book, just for future plot things. Shit! So the room's the same, it's just a wardrobe.
Yeah, same,
And a
same
door.
as the other. Same as the others. 2 beds, 2 wardrobes, door, metal door.
Do I have the necklace with Wraith?
I have it.
No, you have it. Shit, don't worry about that.
If I have it.
Fuck. I'll go for the door.
Yeah? Nice. You head to the door. Wraith, what are you doing?
Wraith will check all her hidden spots for any of her daggers.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not there.
Where are your spots? Because I was thinking about this.
So bottom top. Boots. So inside a boot. Thigh sheaths, both side. Back of the corset, she's got them sort of built in.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's usually 3 or 4 back there. One on the belt, one under the arm, one down the back of the spine, up top, and then she would have had her one in the hair.
Roll me a sleight of hand check to see how well you may have concealed these.
Yep.
The DC's very, very high.
Oh no.
Expected. Okay. That is a 22.
Oh.
No, the DC was 25.
Oh.
You check yourself and you haven't got any of the daggers on you. So as you stand up, check yourself to daggers, we'll switch back to Luca, who was looking in the wardrobe.
That makes her real uncomfortable.
Yes, please.
You open it up. It's not Narnia. And inside you see that there are some possessions in there. There's items of clothing. Looks to be uniforms, all of them, without investigating too closely, like grey uniforms. Kind of overalls looking things. There's also a trunk at the bottom of the wardrobe, sort of just resting underneath the clothes.
Can I get into the trunk?
You look and it is locked.
I thought you meant, can I climb into the
I'm just gonna get in there and get out of here. I've had enough already. I mean, no one else has got any of their shit on them, so I can only assume I do not have my thieves' tools.
No. And do you think Luca is the kind to like hide a lockpick on himself?
Probably not. It's
Yeah.
all in his backpack.
Yeah. Then no, you don't.
Cool. Well, the uniforms. Do I you just said that they're kind of generic overalls, but do I recognize them at all? Have I seen anyone recently wearing them?
Roll a history check.
If we are in the creepy place that these fucking
might be
guys
in the
came
creepy
from,
place.
I'm not gonna be jazzed about it.
They're dark
History.
robes.
That's a 22.
Amazing. So roll me a d4.
That one. That's a 3.
Okay, cool. It's early afternoon, and you all of you are in the mountains, the mountain pass that you were just hiking through recently. You don't feel a jar, like all of you are here. That's the counter with the words. You don't kind of feel like you've been, thrown anywhere. But Luca, upon looking at these grey uniforms, it triggers something, and all of a sudden, all of you going through these mountains. You're crouching, you're sneaking, you look around. It's just the 5 of you. You seem to be crouching in a series of like rocks, boulders, at the edge of what looks to be a naturally formed hole in the ground, like a chasm or a canyon or something, maybe formed by landslide, glacier melt. It's not dramatic, the drop down, it slopes, and you're at the top of it, hidden, looking in, all of you.
Do we remember being in the white room?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Do we remember how we got here?
You remember that you've come here for a reason.
Okay.
And Alanis is there as well.
Are Velia and Cosima with us, or is it just us?
No, just you. And
Great.
could you, Luca, roll me a perception check, please?
Love to. Oh Christ. Perception. That's a 12.
Nice. So you, as you're kind of awaken, I suppose, in this moment, you kind of stand up a little bit, peer over the rock that you're hiding behind, and you look down into this chasm, and you see a structure made of stone and metal, deep down in this, maybe 60 foot, maybe 80, down at the bottom of this chasm. You're looking, squinting, trying to make out more, and you feel kind of a hand on your shoulder, and you look over and you see Alanis, and she says, "No, just do you see them? Just they're walking. I think they're doing patrols." And you see, and now she's pointed it out, you see 2 people walking the perimeter of this structure, this building, this 1-story building that at the back is almost flush with the earth, and you see 2 people in those grey uniforms that you just saw when you opened the wardrobe, walking. Wraith, your passive perception's high. You see next to Alanis, hovering at level with the hand that she's put on Luca's shoulder, a ball of light, a riffling. You would recognise it as a riffling. That's just sort of bobbing there. Just one. That's just sort of bobbing there. And this riftling, the colour of it, it seems to... Well, roll a history check to see if you can figure out what it might be looking like.
16.
It looks like the night sky, almost in the dead of night, with almost vague twinkling stars in it. Like that's the colour. It's not like an orb that you're seeing the night sky in, but those colours bring to mind, the colour of the riftling right now brings to mind the night sky in the dead of night. And so,
The others.
Sorry, no, go.
Do I? Does it seem like the others know it's there, or like I've just noticed it?
Seems like it's known to be there, almost
Okay.
like someone travelling with you. And when you look at it, you, Wraith, as the player, doesn't strike you as odd. You're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And as well, you all feel this. You're all like, yeah, I know where I'm here. This makes sense. It's just you as people. Steph.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know why she's here. So, look at what you're doing. You're watching these people patrol.
If I know why I'm here, can I ask why I'm here?
Yeah.
Do
So,
I know what I'm looking
as
for?
you think that, and you're kind of like, what's going on here? Almost like you've walked in a room and forgotten what you're looking for. You're like, oh yeah, I remember. You're trying to get into this place. You remember, and you don't know what the cause was, but you remember that you want to get in here.
Well, is there... What's the entrance situation to get in?
Yes, so now Alanis is kind of looking and helping you point out, and you see where these people are patrolling. You see there seems to be a sort of where the sort of chasm lightens and the slope becomes more gradual. It seems almost like a driveway heading down and curving round, and it resembles looking like down into a quarry. That's I think kind of what I've been reaching for. And this thing is built at the bottom of the quarry. There's metal fences, sort of about 30 feet before what you see are two steel doors built into this front stone face. You don't see any windows, just these two steel doors and two people sort of patrolling. And you can go all the way around this, right into the back when it's flush with the side of the rock and the mountains. It's kind of three sides, front, left, right.
Okay. If it's just the two of them patrolling, is there an opportunity at any point where we could get a route in their blind spot, or they would have their backs to us for long enough?
Nice one. Roll me, and people can help with this. If this is you kind of feeding this back, happy for you guys to sort of come up with a plan, figure this out. And so if you want to choose someone to roll a check that would be at advantage, happy for you as a group to tell me what that check would be that involves making a plan to sneak into somewhere where there is a patrol, trying to find a blind spot and sort of trick them in a way and get past them.
We could always, if we're at the top of the quarry,
Mm-hmm.
if there was a blind spot moment, the twins could ferry us down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Remember there's
You
5 of
carry-
you. Alanis is there.
Yes, yeah. One of us would have to do 2 trips,
Yes.
or one person could go on foot down if they're a good climber.
I can make
Yeah, I've
one
got
person
good
visible.
stealth, so I can always, if you guys take the other two, I can always stealth it.
I've got
You also-
silence also if it would be helpful to cast silence. If I'm presuming I've got my
Yes, I
pendant.
was going to say you also have all of your belongings exactly where you would expect them to be.
Lovely.
All of our belongings are back.
Yeah.
How far away are the guards?
I suppose they're about 80 feet away, if you were looking down into this quarry. And they're moving, constantly patrolling. Moving at sort of like, they're not moving quick, they're probably going at like 15 foot around, like to kind of picture it as we're looking at that map.
Did we get the effects of a long rest?
I'd say
Like,
you feel, you kind of take a moment to check in with yourself, you feel rested. Your legs are weary, like you've been walking for a while. You've got blisters on your feet, but you, I would say, feel rested, yes.
like, do I have full spell
Yeah,
slots? Is what
you
I'm
do,
really
you do,
asking.
yeah, you do.
I can make somebody invisible if they'd like that.
I mean, if we wanted to do a scout mission, I could fly down invisibly and stealthily, or we just go move as a party.
I don't think we should split.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think go down together.
Go as a party.
Okay.
So we're gonna look for the window, and then the twins will try fly Alanis and Toki down, and Luca, you will stealthily scramble down.
Mm-hmm.
Nice one. Okay, cool.
And we're darndest.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm going to say you guys kind of talk through it. They don't need to kind of roll to figure out what an opportune moment is. I feel like you guys can sort of tell. You figure it out.
Okay.
Good, good role playing. So, when this moment comes, you've got about 80 feet to cover. I'll say that you estimate that you probably have, let's call it 4 rounds to do so.
Okay.
Over to you.
Right. Come on then. I'll open my arms to somebody, whoever walks into them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you ride
Toki
him in,
will,
yeah.
Toki will walk in.
Nice. Awesome. Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, and Wrath, you take Alanis and you scramble down. So from you two, could I please have a stealth check, please?
Yes.
And I'll say you both can do it at advantage. I'll say that Toki and Alanis can be helping you both with this. Sort of, Alanis will be like, bit lower, bit lower, bit lower. Or she'll be like, oh, there's a kind of rock there, like you can kind of use that to get down there a bit easier.
I'm really sorry, guys.
Oh, what's happening? Oh,
April. Advantage.
Right. Oh,
Advantage.
advantage, mate.
Guess what I rolled?
Excellent.
And that
One,
one
two.
and a 2.
Insane.
Well,
I'm
I
so
got
sorry.
27.
Woo.
So
So
Amazing.
we're fine.
Yeah.
Time to cast invisibility on yourself so fast.
Yeah, I was talking about it.
it's just Alanis flying through the
This is like the air. Yeah. Wrath, what did you get total?
Stealth.
Yeah.
+1.
Okay,
3.
so 3. I'm going to go to Luca. Think about, you're flying down with Alanis. What does a 3 look like for failing a stealth to sneak down there? Luca, you're scrambling down, you're climbing down in a stealthy
Scrambling
way.
down as
Cool.
stealthily
Could
as
you
possible.
do me just an acrobatics check as well as your stealth check?
Of course.
It's not difficult
Acrobatics,
acrobatics. You want to get more than a 5.
Okay, I got 19.
Nice one. All good. And then I'll say with a 19, that's a good roll, so you can roll your stealth at advantage as well.
Thank
You
you.
kind of get to know the lay of the land, and
That's
you're like,
good,
won't put my
'cause
foot there,
that's
won't slide.
nat one.
Oh my god.
my
These nat
God.
ones want you guys.
What's my stealth +7? So that's 24 for my stealth.
Brilliant. Excellent. So we've got 28, 24, and a 3, yeah? So April, what does a 3 look like? You see as you're flying over, your sister lands, does like a running landing, lets Toki down. Both of you sort of sneak, scramble to the front doors. Luca is not far behind. What does a 3 look like?
It drops Alanis.
Well, it's stealth, not
I was
strength that I
thinking stealth.
failed.
It's stealth that you failed.
It's stealth, not
And
strength. So,
a
my thinking
failure
is
on this will
stealth.
be to draw. It has drawn attention to you.
I think I'm like flying, and I'm so busy looking at my sister. I'm like, that's so fucking cool that I just fly smash into something.
Excellent, amazing. I'm gonna say that you smashed right into that metal fence. It's like a wire
Oh, God.
fence.
Oh, and it rattles.
Like chicken wire or something, and it rattles. You smash into it, and there's like a squeak from Alanis. You know one's hurt, but you do hear from on the side of the building. All of you hear. What was that? Did you hear this? And then you hear running feet. People coming around.
I cast invisibility immediately on
Yep.
Linus.
Okay, Alanis is now invisible. I'm going to say Alanis is just going to run and join Harvey, etc. Wrath, you kind of like casting the invisibility lost you the chance to like move, I'm going to say. They come around the corner, one from each end. You see 2 guards in this uniform looking at you. They reach their hip as if to pull something out. And Luca, as you're watching this, you see their uniforms, these grey uniforms. And then we're out of that. And you're back in your individual rooms.
Oh,
I was ready to say something. Damn it.
I'm getting flash.
Sorry if I fucked that up for the group.
No,
No,
mate, you
no,
didn't.
I'm
There's no
sure
way
we
to
ended up
fuck
here
up.
somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Didn't get got, that's the main thing.
Is this gonna be like Groundhog Day where we have to infiltrate that fucking place? And I'm gonna keep fucking it up because I have no stealth. We're just in this fucking cycle.
Back in the rooms,
Yeah.
do we remember being
Yes.
in the mountains? Okay,
Yep. you
now it is jarring. And we're like, what the
It
fuck?
is jarring. It's like technically Luca was the only one to maybe remember this, but I'll say for ease, everyone remembers it once. It's like after a night out, you're like, oh shit, I remember that. That's the feeling.
Mm. Do we now not have our stuff again?
You don't have your stuff. You are back in those rooms.
Okay, now I have to remember to get a lockpick
Yeah,
if we are out of these rooms again.
love it.
Can I check if anything's changed in the wardrobe?
Roll me just perception check.
I'm gonna risk changing my dice. Oh, it's a 9.
Nothing's changed. Like, not that you failed, easy. Looks the same, and you don't get the sense that any time has passed. It's just a memory has come to the front of your mind. Yeah. Talking, what are you
I'm
doing?
gonna take a
Oh, sorry.
uniform. Sorry.
You take your uniform down. Cool. Talking.
Can I try the door?
You go over to the door, wiggle the handle, and it is locked.
Okay. No windows.
No windows.
I guess I will go investigate the wardrobes too.
Yeah. You open the wardrobes and you see pretty much what Lucas saw. Those grey uniforms hanging with a trunk at the bottom.
And I now remember that this was the uniform of the guards
Yes,
that
you
we
do.
saw.
You do.
Yeah, can I take a uniform too? Does it look like it would fit me?
Roll d20.
That was unsettling.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No.
An eerie
Fuck me up, Lauren.
music.
That's you are not gonna believe what I just wrote.
Did you get a cookie? Oh, happy birthday, everybody.
Let's go.
No, it doesn't look like the uniform would fit. It looks like it'd be way too small for you. Like, this maybe looks like a gnome-sized uniform.
DM's calling you
Okay.
fat.
Oh no.
It's all that fair. It's all that fair.
Okay, I will put it back
Mhm.
and
You can make it work, Toki. I think you just squeeze into it like a layer.
It's like
Tiny
a
little
crop
squeeze.
top.
It's
Yeah.
short.
Exactly. It's a look.
No, I was more like, am I meant to wear this? And I've ascertained that I'm not meant to wear this, so
Nice.
I'm not.
True.
I wasn't like, grey's my colour. This is like excellent on me. I am gonna go lay down on the bed.
So I'm going back to
For
bed.
now.
What's this supposed to do?
Resignation
I've tried the
immediately.
door, I've looked at the wardrobes, I'm gonna lay down on the bed and I'm gonna try and reach out to Galen.
Okay, cool. I'll leave you there. Wrath, what are you
Yep.
doing?
Do I have my spell components on me? I know the answer to this coming very well.
No.
No.
Sorry.
So I can cast spells. I just can't cast
Yeah.
any spells that require a material component. Is what I've researched.
Yeah, and however that, because the arcane focus makes up for the material components, I'm pretty sure.
So I can't cast a lot of spells, but I can cast detect magic.
Okay, can you? Because I didn't look this up, to be fair. You don't have your arcane
have material.
focus.
Yeah. This
so-
is what I looked up.
Yeah, you're able to cast
Is
spells
that-
without them and stuff. Sweet.
I can cast spells without a material component
Nice one,
when I
okay.
don't have an arcane focus.
Cool, detect magic.
Unless someone wants to correct me on that, but that's what I just
I'm
spent 10 minutes
I'm happy,
Googling.
I'm happy to go with that, mate, if you've done the research.
Viewers at
So-
home, come for me.
Yeah,
Everyone.
come for April. In the comments, leave us comments. We might get on YouTube front page. Could you imagine?
Just rage.
You cast detect magic. What's the range? 30 foot?
30 foot, yeah, Do you want me to read it to you?
No. I pulled it up in my mind. Through the wall to the right of you, so you're facing the door, you get a blip that seems to be moving around. you don't get any more, which tells you the doors aren't like magically locked or anything.
The wardrobe's not magical.
No, just something through the wall on like the other side of the wall is moving around.
Do I detect what it says? The spell, I think,
Yeah.
tells you what type of school of magic it is.
Roll me a history check.
This music is terrifying.
It's
I
good,
would
isn't
say. 15 plus 7, 22.
You recognise this object as the ring that is cursed to be on your sister's finger.
Thought so.
Oh shit! I was dumb. I was like, what being is this? Okay, then I'm gonna like shout out to Wraith. I like put myself against the door and just start shouting to her.
Yeah. Could
What
you?
does that sound like?
Well, before you do that, could you roll me a history check, please?
Oh,
Who?
You, April.
you.
Oh, even like 18 plus 7. 25? Yeah.
25. As you cast Detect Magic, you call out for your sister, focusing on the ring, and kind of go through the motions of casting this spell. Again, like a drunken night out memory just comes to you. It's now... Sorry, my computer's being slow. It seems to be mid-morning, maybe, and you're walking through a thick patch of trees. Alanis is up front, and she is looking at the map that she's worked out the route on, and then she's looking in front of her. She seems to be like triangulating through where she's going. That riffling isn't there, and she's walking, moving. And then Wrath, you remember feeling something odd. Maybe announcing this, but you were all as a party walking through this woodland, still in the mountains. And then Wrath, suddenly you feel the feeling that you felt when you got near Pensueno, that attracted you to the town. It feels slightly different. Pensueno was more spirits of the dead, and that was initially what called you. But since learning more about like what's happening in Pensueno, you feel something similar around you now. Something in the air that doesn't quite feel right.
Is Detect Magic still up?
Nope.
Fuck. Can I cast it again?
You can do if you would like. Actually, no, you cannot, because you just said that you hadn't cast any spells before you were going down to the base.
Shit.
Unless Detect Magic is a ritual.
It is!
Then yes, you can cast it again. If you want to stop for 10 minutes, just call out.
I'll
and
make sure the party's okay with it.
Mhm.
But we now remember weird shit
No.
is happening. Like,
No.
this is like memory is clear, we don't remember the room.
You know that you are, walking, it's sort of mid-morning, and you are walking to try and find the druids.
I think he still would on the
big hike.
basis. So
No.
I think he
Go,
still
go.
would on the basis that something feels funky.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, of
unless
course, mate.
other people want to like rush, he won't.
I only got 10 minutes.
Rush. We found a
Yeah,
good path.
10 minutes.
Well, break! Get the biscuits out. Let's go.
Excellent. And I'll say the rest of you feel grateful for the break. Without really thinking too much about it, you're like, yeah, be nice to stop for a second. And you cast Detect Magic. So you bring that spell up. Could you roll me a Arcana check for me? Because you don't detect anything out of the ordinary.
18 again. Why didn't I roll this on stealth? 18 plus it's 25.
Nice. With a 25, you don't get like a blip of a magical object, but you do get something in the air around you. Almost like and I don't know if Wrath can do this now, and we'll probably talk about it on Friday, but later on you expect that Wrath will one day be able to see into different planes. You are able to see some kind of magic in the air, and Detect Magic lets you know the kind. And let me just look something up.
The music is now chill. Really throwing me.
I'm very happy.
We're going from
Conjuration.
forward to, like, oh!
Conjuration is
Like general?
the magic in the air. Yeah, kind of permeating. With the 25 actually, that's very good. Conjuration, but weird. Mixed with the feeling you got that something's wrong. Conjuration with an asterisk next to it.
Oh. Let's communicate that to the party.
Yeah.
Something is really not right about this place. Conjuration magic everywhere. I don't know why.
Cecilia's Tower didn't have anything like this, did it, in terms of magic-y vibes?
Yay! My bestie!
Knowing that she...
To be honest,
came
I'll
from
say you
Druid.
don't know, actually. I'm going to say you don't know. I don't think any checks like that were done really at the time. Yeah.
And to be fair, it was different druids
It was.
she spoke to.
I was thinking the white rooms would be Cecilia. On no basis, I was like, she's back! Well... Shit's all funky. Should we keep going?
I guess so.
Guess we'll keep an eye out.
Cool. So as you continue walking, Wrath, you've still got Detect Magic up, and you're just aware of all the magic items around you, including your sister's ring. And as you're like, oh yeah, my sister's ring is magic, you're thrown back into those white rooms, and again, it's like a memory has come to the forefront of your mind. You remember walking through these woods. You remember feeling a disturbance. You remember casting Detect Magic as a ritual. You remember stopping talking. And you're like, oh, fuck. And then, what do you call out when you talk to your sister?
Ray, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's muffled, but yes, you can. Like he's in a room next to you and is calling through the wall.
I'll go to the wall and knock on the wall. Brother?
Hello? Okay. Do we remember these little trips that we're having?
Yes. Right now you do, yeah. You're like, oh, God, yeah.
What
I'm
the
walking through
fuck
woods.
is happening? Sorry, Lauren.
No.
Not entirely sure. Have you found anything?
Like, nothing's magical apart from your ring.
Yes, well.
How do you still have that? They fucking skimmed us for everything, but the ring's still there.
Well, unless they wanted to take my finger with it.
Oh, true.
We semi-shouting this conversation through a wall.
As you're shouting, Toki and Luca, you hear this. You hear your friends talking, muffled, but a little bit further away. But you hear this.
What
Familiar
side?
sound of the twins.
Let's say that you're in the room facing the door, standing in between these two beds. You, Luca, and Toki hear it coming from beyond the door.
They're on the other side of the corridor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start pounding on the door. That's all I can do.
Yeah. You start pounding. You two hear pounding. Toki, you hear pounding.
Who
Guys?
the fuck is fucking in this scenario? Seriously?
God.
Calm the fuck down.
I don't think that really is what that sound is, brother, but get a grip.
Okay, the last thing was conjuration, so I'm not sure if this whole thing is in our minds at this point.
Okay. Wraith's gonna go to the wardrobes and have a look in the wardrobes as well.
Yeah, you see the same thing that I've described for the others.
Is my chest locked as well?
Roll D20 for me.
20.
No, it's not actually. And you open it, and you see.
What's in the bar?
You see, it seems to be a collection of personal items. Sort of like, it's as if someone's come into work and this is their like locker, and then they've got changed, put their clothes in here, their belongings, put the uniform on, gone. That's kind of the vibe of the sort of things you would expect to find in here.
Anything of value?
Roll a investigation check.
Strange goings on will not stop Wraith from robbing
I
people.
mean,
Wraith can't get out, but she's gonna put stuff in her pockets anyway.
12.
No, nothing. Nothing like that.
Anything in there that I think could be used as some form of lock picking,
Roll
or I
me
can break to make it do a lock
And what do I make you roll when you're doing your jewelry checks?
picking.
Is it Dex?
I think so.
Yeah, roll a Dex check. It's kind of like a crafting check. There's not really anything
Yeah,
similar in
okay.
D&D.
14.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you find a like a pencil case that someone's left in there, and there's pens and pencils in there, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I could figure this out.
Yep. I'm gonna take a few of them. I'm gonna slide one sharp pencil into my head.
Nice,
That is
yeah.
now my makeshift dagger.
Okay, cool.
Shank people with some pencils.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the door and try to open it if it's okay.
Yes, you can. Please roll for me a Dex plus your proficiency, but at disadvantage.
I can never remember where to find our proficiency.
Can't help you.
Plus
It's
2.
2.
It's next to
Two.
movement.
Okay.
Oh, you're on your phone, aren't you? It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dex plus proficiency at disadvantage.
Yes, the DC is 10.
Go on.
Not
You got this.
10.
Excellent.
Ooh.
So just as you're like, fuck, like this isn't hard, I can almost see how this works.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just using bad tools. The pen or
Blink.
pencil that's inside almost gets like stuck on something, and you're like, fuck's sake, trying to pull it out, and that unlocks the door. And you hear a clunk as the door unlocks.
Peer into the hallway. Is it
Yeah.
empty?
Open the door, you peer in, and you see like white walls, white floor, like the room you're in, and you see that there are 4 other. Yeah, there it is. 3 other doors in this hallway. Sort of like one opposite you, one just to the right, one opposite the one that's just to the right, and then actually if you turn, there is another door at the end of this hallway. The hallway is not long, maybe 30 foot. And it's a narrow hallway, sort of 5 by 30 foot.
I'm gonna go to the door that was in the direction where my brother's
Yeah.
voice was coming from,
Yeah.
and then try and lockpick that one.
Yeah, go for it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say save time. You've done it. You eventually managed to unlock your brother's door. Wrath, your door swings open and you see your sister.
I'll go
Good.
to hug her
Morning,
immediately.
sunshine, hi.
Amazing. Wrath, you go to hug your sister, and she says, "Morning,
no.
sunshine." And Wrath, as you hug her and as she says that, you feel fucking weird all of a sudden. It feels very similar to the feeling you had when you were looking at those figures that were distorted, as if your brain is sort of like, and then it breaks, and it's a lovely spring morning. There's a chill in the air, and the chill will probably be from the mountains that you're sailing through with the Stodromo. Last night you slept outside on the deck of the canal boat that you're sailing through, because it was a really clear night and you liked to watch the stars. But now you kind of look up, you curled up in some blankets, and you see your sister standing over you saying, "Good morning, sunshine."
I'm presuming I feel like this is normal.
Yep.
Morning. How are
I
you?
mean, well, I slept well because I slept inside like a civilized person.
You know, I love to look at the stars at night. What can I say? I'm a romantic.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
As you're talking, a kind of tall elven man, who you recognise, but I'm not going to name because I don't know, comes out of the cabin, and you know this person is the navigator for the Stodromo boat that you're currently on.
Maybe not.
Sure, I don't know. I don't know exactly what boats you might have been on. But they come out and they're like, okay, so we've left Cyprius. It's good to have you on board. We should be heading through, crossing the border to Rasheen today. Should start getting a little bit warmer. And kind of smiles at you, Wraith, as they say that.
news. Ray tucks her scarf and she still has a little tighter around her.
Nice.
Aw.
Wrath, what are you doing? As you watch your sister kind of tuck this in.
I'll just have a look around.
Yeah, you see, tall mountains in the distance fading away, kind of as the boat sails down this river, and it's very sort of like crystal clear water, as if it's sort of like glacial water or something. There's a few other boats sailing with you, probably other Stodromo boats that have come to the gathering where you met with Stodromo, and everyone's sort of heading out the same way. People have stuck together for a little bit. And yeah, you feel peaceful. A slow day, but good to be moving along.
I wonder if this will be the kind of transport we can find relax a little bit less legwork.
I hope so.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Mm.
And with that, you are back hugging your sister in that corridor. And this doesn't have the same feeling of, oh my god, I've remembered something. This is, you felt like you were living that moment again, rather than remembering it. That was like, hold on a fucking minute, what just happened?
Living it, not remembering it.
Yeah.
Shit.
And do you feel this sense of when you were looking at the distortion, your brain is like, I don't want any of that. Any of it. But
Looking
you
at my
kind of-
sister, that's how it feels.
Not looking at your sister, sort of reacting to what just happened. The living that memory.
Okay.
Your brain is like, it's not right. It's not right. The way that happened, the experience, it's not right. Not the things that happened, because I'll say, as you measure it up against yourself, you're like, yeah, I kind of remember that day, crossing the border from Cyprius into Rasheen the Stodromo. But that was, it was like you were there, all of a sudden. Wraith, you did not have that experience.
Yeah.
You were just NPC playing yourself.
Maybe enough hugging. Let's find the others.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
still
And you
banging
hear
behind
Luca
us.
banging on the door.
You're banging on the door.
Do I know it's Luca? I just
No, you
banging
don't,
on
to be
the
fair,
door.
unless Luca's talking.
Yeah, he'll start calling out if it's been a hot second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling out. Guys, is that you?
For the two and only, Wraith will then kneel and start unpicking Luca's door as well.
Nice one.
You've seen Flitzen?
Yeah,
I'm in
she opens
here.
the door. Yeah.
Ah,
There
there
we
we
go.
are talking. So yeah, I'll do
You open the doors.
Luca's and then
Yeah.
Toki's.
And you all find yourself in this corridor.
Is it like just as like white and sterile
It
as
is.
our rooms?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
Is
Where
someone
are we?
messing with our minds right now? Because something is...
Do you guys know how we got here? I can't remember.
I've no idea.
No, and I don't like it.
Is there a clear way out of the corridor, or is it literally
There's a
just we
door
could
at the
go
end
in
of the
either
corridor.
direction?
The dead end at the other end.
Great.
Wraith will go to the door. Is it like solid door? Or
Yeah.
is there a windy window in it?
Yeah, solid metal door.
Gently, very quietly try and turn it to see if it's locked or unlocked.
Yeah, not locked.
Excellent. And just sort of crack it, listen,
Yeah,
and then peer out.
cool. Roll me a perception check as you crack it.
I can never remember what my perception is. That is a 24.
You hear like laughter and talking coming from, as you open, you look out, you see it's another corridor, much like the one you're in now, more doors leading off in different directions. And opposite you is another metal door, and through this one it's cracked a little bit and you hear laughter coming from in there. You did really well, and you gather that there's the laughter and chatter of maybe 8 people, 6 to 8 people in this room, but no one in the actual corridor.
Wraith will just lean back to the others, be like, we've got company, and we'll signal like 8.
We get either way instead, quietly.
So it was another corridor and another door. Did the corridor go length or width?
I don't know how to describe it, but this is the corridor that you were in, that you came out of,
Yeah.
so your room was
Yeah.
here. My
Yeah.
watch is the door that you've just gone through, and then
Yeah.
this is the other corridor.
Okay,
And
I'm
then-
with you.
Here is the door with the
Yes.
laughter, yeah?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the only door.
There are more doors. So, like here, where my fingers are, is the end.
Yeah.
That's the end of the hallway. There's down towards my elbow here, at the very end of my elbow, there is another door, and then about here, there's one door and then another door, sort of like one going that way, one going that way, sort of opposite each other.
Well, there's one door where we don't have to cross by the openish door.
Okay.
No,
Should we try that?
no.
No.
You
I
like
have to go past either way.
the door that you've come out of,
Yeah.
end of the corridor, like dead end, and then
Yep.
the open door is here, and all the other
Forgive
3
me.
doors are down the other end.
Yeah,
I do have a battle map, but it's not finished, so I can't really put you on it.
That's
So
fine.
we're theory of the minding it.
All good. Okay, we gotta go past the door.
Do we just act really casual, like we're meant to be here?
I think we stealth. Are the doors not open, is it?
No,
Is
it's
it
just
fully open? Ajar.
ajar. Yeah, as if someone's not
Yeah.
closed it properly. Like pulled it
Someone's
to.
Quiet. You could be quiet, can't you, brother?
There were
My
uniforms
history
in
being quiet is
the
not great.
rooms. Would they fit? Like if someone saw us out of the corner of their eye and we were in their uniform.
The uniform in my room was
Go for it.
really small.
Oh, never mind.
Oh.
Don't worry. Let's just go.
Oh, okay. Stealthing
Okay.
past the door.
Cool. Could all of you roll a stealth check for me, please?
Is somebody fucking with time? Like, because that's just crazy. I rolled the entire opposite of what I got last time.
Nice.
Hey!
Hey.
Yeah,
It was
you
a
did really well.
sassy
Come
comment.
back.
Yeah, very good. You all kind of crouch, be quiet, sneak through the door. Wraith, you go through last and make sure you close this door quietly behind you. All of you now hear the chatter and the laughter of the room where this door is ajar and the people in there, and you creep slowly, slowly, slowly down the corridor. And as you do, again, drunken memory coming back to you, all of you are walking, being escorted down a different corridor, different to this one, but feels similar, same white walls. You're being escorted by the 2 people who were patrolling the building. They are in the middle, have you one by arm. Alanis, I'm going to say, still invisible, got away with it, but in present is there with you as you're sneaking down the corridor. They're marching you down these corridors. They haven't been saying anything. You remember that they've been like very quiet with you, and just marching you down, pulling you firmly. You get the sense that you've lost here. This is you having lost like an encounter or something, and now dealing with that. But you're in the building, which is what you wanted to do. You are led down a long white corridor, longer than the one you're in now. a few doors on kind of the left-hand side, 2 doors on the right-hand side, and as you're led to the very end of the corridor, to a metal door at the end, one of the guards knocks on the door, and you hear inside someone saying, "Yes, what is it?" And they say, "Sorry, Totokochi, we have some people who tried to sneak onto base." And then you're back sneaking down that corridor.
Sorry, Lauren, can I get the name of that guy in the chat?
That is not how I spelled it. At
So
all.
I didn't
I
write
thought it was a guy called
Toto. I wrote Toto.
Same.
I wrote
Yeah, I did
Toto
Totokochi.
Kochi.
And yeah, now you're back.
Is my detect magic still up from when I first cast it?
How long does it last? 10 minutes? From when you first cast it? No. Wait, when do you mean first?
Well, I cast it technically twice.
Do you mean first as in, like half an hour ago real world? Or like the first time you cast it in session?
Well, is either of them up? Because I cast
The
it
one that you have cast,
and then one in
the first one that you cast this session is still up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is anything pinging off that? The music has got so intense.
No, I don't think anything is. But as you sneak further down this corridor, you realise that sense of wrongness and the conjuration magic in the air, that never left. And you're like, oh, that's still here. And you sense at the end of the corridor. Roll an Arcana check for me.
Oh! 19 plus 26.
Nice. Yeah, excellent. Whatever is the cause of the weirdness in the air. And actually, you know what? I think the thing that you're seeing, that you're understanding is wrong, is probably the weave. And you think that whatever's messing some things up in the air around here and the magic around here is at the end of this corridor behind that metal door.
I communicate that to everyone!
I really hope it's not our box.
Does that Wrath giving us that information, does that trigger any memory of something like that being what we are here for?
Yeah, nice. Roll me a history check.
More clever.
I'm just gonna roll good now, otherwise we're boned. I'm not gonna use that dice, I'm gonna use this dice. History.
Does this box like distort time? I suppose.
19.
19. Excellent. As you try and, as Wrath announces this, and you think about, is this strange conjuration magic, this strange disturbance to do with the reason we're here? A clear answer comes back, and the clear answer is yes. And then all of you are sitting down for lunch, in kind of a clearing in these trees. The trees have started to taper off now, and you kind of are just in like a kind of rocky clearing, and sitting opposite you is a woman in a hand designed t-shirt with white curly hair, and next to her is another woman who you haven't met in campaign before, and she has light brown skin, elven ears, long blue braids that go all the way down her back, and Ilfa says, there's something going on here. I've been studying for a long time, and sneaking around and creeping up to the base, and I can only get so far, and I was wearing my hat, and they weren't able to get me with the hat on, and Wraith, you notice that the elven woman at this like rolls her eyes, but then Ilfa says, and then I bumped into Omara, and Omara filled me in on everything that is happening about how they are running tests and they are experimenting and they are poisoning the world around them. And this woman, Amara, interrupts and says, "Hey, look, we don't think that they are, poisoning the world around them. Maybe this is a bit extreme, but something that they are doing, my circle definitely has felt the effects in this area. This is our land, our territory, and they have set something up which is not natural. And so they sent me to have a look, and I ran into Ilfa here. And Ilfa nods.
I feel like we need another talkie.
How much for that hat?
For my cat,
Mm-hmm.
500 gold pieces.
Would 4 silver suffice? Because that's all I have.
No.
Well, shit. I'll get back to you.
But hey, I tell you what, if you help us out with this, I'll show you how I made the cat.
You have a deal. I shake the hand.
Fantastic. Ilfa shakes your hand.
This is how we fail to deliver boxes on time. The cult, something to do with volcanoes, influence on nature, about 20 years ago. That's all I got.
But I think this lady's from the Circle of
I think she's
Stars.
the Druids.
Yeah.
Was it Amara?
Amara, yeah, I put it in the chat.
And I turn to her.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think they're doing?
We aren't too sure, but there's just been strange things happening around here lately. In the last, I don't know, half a year or so. Odd tiny things, tremors in the earth, and the riftlings have been acting strange around here as well. Whatever they are doing, they don't want anyone to know. And something about it feels wrong.
When you say half a year, was that yearling?
Yeah. Around then. Kind of end of last summer, start of the... Oh, Estiva, start of the year.
Strange things started happening in Pensueno then as well,
Yeah.
with ghosts.
Pensueno on the other side of the country.
You don't think it could be connected?
Maybe. Maybe there are more of them.
Intra-Oriacos?
Yeah, that's a yearling.
That's when the ghosts appeared in Pensueno.
You know anything about the people in there?
They come and go quietly. We on our table to we tried to watch them as they arrive. Hard to see them. They appear to have some sort of magical cover, like a darkness spell moving with them. In terms of who they are, it seems well run. Almost. Caldetta doesn't really have a military as such, but something of that ilk. There's something official about it. We've reached out to other circles. The circle of, I think the Shepherd is the closest, I think, and they haven't Well, they've seen similar things around the Riftlings, sometimes being strange, but nothing like what is happening here, with a feeling in the air within magic itself, and it just feels off.
When you say the Riftlings are acting strangely, what are they doing?
It's almost like they are sick. Sometimes they get too close to a certain area. That's how we found this structure, the base. Because the closer the Riftlings seem to get to it, they seem to be sick. We don't know much about Riftlings, but it's like they lose control almost.
So do you want us to investigate?
This will be very helpful. I mean, it's just over the ridge there. I suppose, you could go in, give you a few hours, and then if you don't come back out, Ilva's like, and then we will rescue you.
Thank you, Ilfa. I have 100% faith in you.
I have a bit less faith, but whatever Toki says. Can Wraith look in her journal that she writes in every day?
Yep.
How many days was it since they stayed in the bovvy?
Yeah, so that was the 23rd.
Yeah.
By your guess, it's the 26th.
Okay. So we would all pretty much be in druid territory almost, if we travelled well.
And with that, you all are kind of back, all remembering this at the same time, as Luca was thinking, why did we come in here? And is it connected to this strange disturbance at the end of the hallway? And you're back, sneaking through the hallway.
Is my journal gone?
You don't have any of your possessions on you.
Don't like that at all.
Are we gonna try and get through this door to the thing?
How many doors are we checking?
We have to.
Yeah, I get through the creepy door. Can Wraith listen at each of the doors as they pass? Like, I'm not spending a lot of time now, I'm literally just doing a little lean and then move on.
Roll me a perception check.
That's an 18.
You're walking towards the door at the end of the corridor. At the far end of the corridor, the door on the right, don't hear anything. Far end of the corridor, the door on the left, you hear the sound of running water. That's all. Like running water like a tap or something. Not like a stream.
Tap.
Anything from the creepy door?
From the creepy door. No.
So it just feels like the center of like the conjuration magic is through that door?
Yeah.
So the box is conjuration magic? Like, if you've inferred that it's the box that's likely in that room.
Well, no, we hid the box. This was happening before.
Yeah, I did.
We are whispering this conversation.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought that. Sorry, Luca, my bad. Had managed to ascertain that it's the box that was causing this, or have I misinterpreted? Okay, no worries.
I mentioned, could it be the box causing this? And that was it.
I'm tripping the fuck out. Don't mind me.
It's alright. Just like try the door.
But we
Creepy
can
door.
do.
Don't think we got much other choice.
Okay, you try the door.
No,
It
not
is
really.
locked. The door is not
Same
locked, so
process.
up to you. You
Same
open it.
process as before. I listen,
Don't hear anything.
which we had silence, and I crack it.
You crack it, and you look, and as the door reveals more and more, as you kind of peek around, you see kind of 25 by 25 square room. It goes down about 15 feet, like it's a sunken room. There's stairs going into it, and a metal, almost observational railings platform going around the edge of the room, like a balcony mezzanine. Coming off of this room, you're entering from the right. From top, bottom, and left, there's doors leading out. There's metal poles and structures and stones with what clearly are like magic runes inscribed into them, like the language of magic that Luca kind of was learning to read, and then Wrath knows how to write. And they are containing something. And crouched down, looking through the door, you can't quite see what it is, and then you shift and you catch it, like looking at something at a perfect angle, and you're able to see that in the middle of this room is a rift. But the rift is fuzzy at the edges as if it's shaking. And around it, there's crackling energy, silent, but not sparks of electricity, something reacting, coming off of it. And it stands in the middle of a stone and metal circle that seems to have been built around it, with 4 columns that go up and meet in the middle over the rift. And once you see this, it's like beholding something you shouldn't.
Wraith will like jerk back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then relay that to the party.
Yeah.
Room layout, top to the bottom. Fucking with a rift. That sounded worse coming out of my mouth than I thought it did. Never mind. Yeah.
I will say as well, I forgot to mention, but that riftling that was with Alanis earlier is still here, hovering at her shoulder. But this time the colour has changed and seems to be resembles the colours of the crack of dawn.
It's a Twilight one now.
As you say that, or think that, Wrath, roll me a nature check.
What's my bonus? 16 plus. Oh, it's 5.
Ooh.
Oh, it's intelligence, that's why.
Yeah.
21. I thought.
Yeah, as you're like, oh, it's a Twilight one. It looks like Twilight. You're like, you remember, and do you remember meeting this riftling? You remember it finding you as you were about to climb over that ridge. Just after Ilfa and Amara left you. You remember it being attracted to Alanis. You remember it being strange, and you remember Alanis calming it, and you remember it following her like a duckling. And you remember Alanis talking to it and relaying information. And this is a Twilight riftling. And as you kind of found out more about it through Alanis, Twilight riftlings through the course of the 24 hours of the day change appearance. And they reflect the colour of the sky at that present moment, but flipped and reversed. At dawn, they'll look like dusk, and vice versa. And it has a
looks like-
smell of...
Right, so we entered around dawn, and it is now dusk. Therefore, if it was twilight when we
We
met it, and it now looks like dawn,
Mm-hmm.
we've been in here for a whole second.
When you were up
Yeah, it looked
looking
like
over,
night.
it was like
Like-
looked like the dead of night.
So it was
Okay.
noon when we came in.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll say when you met it for the very first time, it looked similar to that dead of night. Tiny, tiny bit. Bit darker.
So it was a bit earlier. We met it just before noon.
So it's dusk now, sorry.
At the moment, it looks just after the crack of dawn. Like, you can just see the sun on the horizon, colour of the sky.
A few hours have passed. Like 6, 7.
Are we going into the room, or are we staying by the door?
Is anyone in the
Warn
room?
you now,
Sorry.
it looks...
No, there wasn't anyone in the room. Wraith didn't see anyone.
It's giving very bad vibes. Just
We need to go through
prepare
one of the
yourself,
doors that's in there.
okay.
Yeah, I'm worried about staying in this corridor.
Right,
Yeah.
here we go then. Wraith will like do the thing where she like takes the handle of the door and like swing around the door itself, open it, let the others through, close the door.
Cool. Yeah, you swing around and swing through, and you enter into this room. As I described, you're standing on an observation balcony looking at a rift. That's
With this rift, I'm wondering if this is an insane question. I'm just going down the wrong route.
No,
But, like, we've encountered rifts before. Luke is getting a gradual grasp on magic. All the other guys use magic. Like, does this feel like the whole structure around it? Like, does this feel like a rift that was made in the same way as the other rifts were? Or does it feel like these people have torn a rift open themselves?
Roll an Arcana check for me.
Okie dokie. What dice do I want to use? This
Is
one?
there a lock on the back of the door we just came through? Or is it like lockable?
No. Cool. No, I don't think it is.
That was a nat 20 for my Arcana.
Ooh.
Hey.
Very,
Oh.
very important roll. As you're kind of thinking this through, something deep in you gets the sense that, like, these are the right questions to be asking about what you're seeing. You get the sense that this rift was made with the other rifts, however they were made. This was it. You get the sense that the rift predates this facility, whatever it is. You get the sense that these structures have been built around it to observe it, experiment on it, fuck with it. Something about the way the energy is sparking off of it, you get the sense this is something that you have never encountered. Never. And no one that you know has ever encountered. This is secret experimentation with things that we do not understand. And you don't know what the goal is. Like, is it to try and create our own rifts? Is it to try and close them? Is it to try and understand them out of curiosity, for curiosity's sake? Is it something else? But on the nat 20, you don't get answers, but something about this strikes you as important and secret and very experimental.
We'll relay this. And then I will say, if it's messing with things, do you think we can do something about it? Like if we took out these stones and not like gesture to the stones with runes on.
I don't dabble in magic too much, but I don't like the way that it's being kept.
No. If it's
I'm not-
affecting the riftlings and the druids, if we can disrupt it somehow. Sorry, April, I fully interrupted you.
No, it's alright. Am I able, with seeing the runes around it, am I able to ascertain how they're fucking with the rift?
Okay, roll a Arcana for me.
Wraith is not magically dabbler, so I'm just going to listen at the door we just came through,
Noted.
and just hang by the door with an ear against the door.
Cool, thank you.
24.
Cool, so 2 things. You figure out kind of how they're holding it, and you also figure out that you are not going to be able to break this unless you like physically tear this place apart. But you figure they're holding this through a series of spells and enchantments similar to like shield, teleportation magic, and you know that teleportation and like I can't remember, like plane step or something, but like spells like that you go to other planes, those fall under the conjuration school of magic. You're getting abjuration and conjuration basically to attempt to contain this thing, and you're not getting things like divination to understand why. You're not getting identify. You're getting containment and a little bit of manipulation. But you know that you couldn't break it.
Well, I say that there's no point in trying to break him.
Like, you could mess with it. Well, it's like you've come across a bomb, right? You're like, I could cut the red wire. I don't know what that would fucking do, but it maybe do something. But you're like, I could not take this apart and stop it in a way that was safe. That's what it is. You're like, you could kind of topple that over. That seems important. That might bring the house down. Might bring the house down.
We could all die.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
What's the 3rd time? Let's go! That's nice a job.
Wraith is shaking her head at her brother. Neutral expression, shaking her head.
My new mentor is going to be so pissed to see me a 3rd time.
From, I think it's Alanis has a map of the rifts. Would any of us remember where, like, a rift in this area or where it was supposed to lead to?
Nice.
Oh, shoot.
Where's the tablet? It's over there. Did I save the rift? No, I didn't. Give me 2 seconds. Let me grab my tablet with the map on it.
Quick, all the secrets. Now's our chance.
April so badly wants to go into the rift.
I also want to.
I want to smash some
Wraith
stuff
would be
up
like,
and then just jump through the rift.
Yep.
All of
Yep.
our shit's in this base somewhere, though. We gotta get our shit
Yeah,
back,
that's
guys.
true.
We could try the doors we just passed, but it
Yeah.
wouldn't be that easy. There's a storeroom somewhere, and it's holding us
These are
up.
not people that I want to leave with any of our stuff, but least of all the weird box that people are trying to steal from us
we
that
cannot part
can't
with
go
the box.
through rifts. No.
Oh yeah. Shit.
And the painting worth £1,000.
The painting is such a secondary thought at the moment. There's so much
Like,
other
we're in a
stuff
top
happening.
secret base.
The money!
With
The money!
experimentation.
I've
Fuck
walked
the
into a
painting.
Stranger Things episode. I don't care about the painting right now.
This is getting more and more unhinged Stranger Things. I'm loving it.
You can even look at the book and remember, and more sort of on the road that you took from Caldetil to Iron Frados, you would have passed in the vicinity of a rift that was labelled Dotya 07, which would have led to the plane of Pandemonium. And that is the probably one of the closest rifts marked on the map that you have. You know that the map that you have only marks like major rifts. Sort of rifts have different power and sizes. I think I mentioned before, like some rifts are very big, some are very, very tiny, and those aren't very interesting because you can't get through them really. I'll say this rift, by the way, one here is like 20 foot tall. Only ones that are sort of like, let's say 25 and over, are in your book. But a few minor ones are mentioned here and there if they're like near important places. Like if there's a rift near a city that's used a lot for transportation, if there's a valid rift pathway that's mentioned, this one isn't in there. Whether it's not been written down or it just isn't important enough, you don't know.
pandemonium. You know, it sounds like a great trip, is all I'm saying. Like, city break, we go, we come back. Just proposing it, light work.
That's not the rift
Add it
here,
to
by the
the
way.
to-do
That's
list.
the
It's
rift.
not
That
this
was
one.
no, that's a
It's
different
the one
rift.
that way.
Was, yeah, a rift that you passed like a week ago, or in the vicinity of a
Damn.
week ago. That's like the closest rift that's marked on the map to you right now, and it's not this one. So yeah, from the book, you don't know where it's leading.
That's even more scary. But you said the bigger ones are normally marked on this.
Yeah, larger signifies more like not power, just more accessibility, which means it's easier for rift pathways to be built through them as like modes of transportation. And so the smaller ones are left out a little bit. There's an acknowledgement of this in the book. This is sort of like the traveller's guide to rifts. So like the tube map, basically. And the smaller stations aren't noted on here. Ones with major train stations and stuff are.
So this really should be on the map, but isn't.
Well, you kind of get the sense that this one is a bit smaller than ones that would be in the book. Only a tiny bit. And I'll say none of you have like actively studied this book enough to understand the categorizations of rifts and, you know, their utility rating, I'll say.
Do I hear anything at the door?
You hear the laughter, but you don't hear anyone coming.
On the other side of the door, now I've closed it, how far away was that closed door where there was just silence behind it? Like 5 foot?
10 foot?
10 foot? And there's doors also around this room.
Yeah. There's a door directly opposite the one that you've come through. Imagine you've come into this room from the east. There's one to the west, one to the north, and one to the south. The one to the north actually isn't a door, it's just an archway with another corridor going up, but you can't see where it goes to yet.
I bet we don't go backwards, we just keep going forwards.
Yeah, I mean, what is our plan? Are we looking for our stuff and getting out of here?
I think that's all we can do.
Yeah, at most we could mess with this and then get out, but then if we
That
mess with
seems
it,
like a bad
then
idea.
we could get out, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we just want to report back to the druids.
Yeah, did Amara was just asking us to look for things from what we could remember?
For what you can remember, it was sort of go in there, see what's going on. The druids have never been able to get far enough. They've never got as far as you.
Right, so
It was more of a scouting reconnaissance than anything else.
Okay.
Do we remember at all the point at which our stuff was taken from us?
Roll a
Yeah.
history check.
In our frog march through.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Nice one.
Hey!
You remember,
Nice.
and you're thrown back again, back a few hours, when Wrath crashed into that fence. People ran round. You were very quickly overpowered, and your immediate weapons were taken from you. And so when you're being marched through these walls, that's what you remember. These halls, rather, that's what you remember. But then you remember, and you are at the door, and the guards have knocked on the door, and they've said, Dr. Gocci, some people are here snooping around. The door opens, and you're pushed through into an office. Same sort of like pristine white walls, white floors, but this has a little bit of decoration to it. There's a rug on the wall, and you know, some like basic art on the walls. There's a desk with a kind of fancy chair, bookcase, and a kind of like just a cabinet. Sitting at the desk is a human man, sort of wild greying hair, not wild, but sort of like bushy, I suppose, sticks up at odd angles a little bit, with glasses on. Aside from his hair looking a bit unkempt, the rest of him looks very put together. and it's not
And he's only 50.
He was old when we knew him.
Wearing like a white lab coat, takes the glasses off. They hang on a chain around his neck. Looks at you. Gestures for you to be brought in, and you are. And the two guards they close the door behind you, and then they stand on the inside of the room, like arms behind their backs. And this person, Dr. Kochi, leans back in the chair, closes the book that was in front of them, and says, how did you find us?
We were just on a hike and got a bit nosy.
No one told you to come here?
Who would tell us to come here?
I don't know, people who are upset, maybe. We have disturbances around here every now and then.
What would they be upset about?
You tell me.
Just seemed like a weird vibe. We're a little bit nosy.
This is
I love looking for information.
This is unfortunate for you. If you wouldn't mind, I'll ask nicely. But could you please just put your belongings on the desk in front of me?
Are we going to get them back at any point?
This depends on a few things outside of your control.
Insight check? I
Yeah.
don't know, like, it's just
Go
a...
for it.
Yep.
Can I discern his accent at all, Lauren?
Patrain.
I was like, God, my countrymen are coming back to haunt me. Fuck these guys.
I take it as a compliment that the 2 times I've done an accent from Patrain, you've been like, that's not the normal, not Spanish she does.
I've been like, these people aren't Spanish.
23. Yeah, honest, actually.
Yeah.
Up front with you, being like, you guys got yourselves into a shit situation, and how you act is gonna impact how you get out of this.
Do I feel a little bit like I've been in a shit situation, being bodily manhandled here?
What do you mean, sorry?
Weren't we, like, escorted?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like you guys, he's kind of looking at you and sort of like, you're in way over your fucking depth there. Way out of your depth.
Yeah, I mean, I think Toki would start to put his stuff down.
Yeah? Nice, he'll kind of nod. And say, good, this seems to be good. The rest of you?
Wraith will start to do the same, but knowing Wraith, she probably would have
Yeah.
tried to keep a concealed dagger or
Yeah,
two.
100%.
Doesn't sound like she got away with it, but...
100%.
I was going to say Luca would do the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I don't
Yeah,
think he's
I
going
mean-
to do much for getting in his good graces, but
No.
we are where we are anyway.
Yeah, I don't think Toki would willingly give up his pendant unless asked, but
yeah.
everything else he will put down.
Yeah, bag and stuff like that, yeah. Wrath?
Very slowly. Does not want to, but if he sees Wraith doing it, he'll do it. Gonna make a big point of taking out his alchemical bomb.
Nice.
Looks at it. Looks at him. Looks back at it.
Yeah.
And puts it on the table, like glaring at
Nice,
him.
yeah.
It's like, I will fucking set this off, motherfucker.
Nice.
You better not
Yeah.
yours.
Dr. Kochi will
Yes.
kind of take a pen, poke it, and be like, just on a hike, yes?
We dabble.
I understand. Okay. I think you can gather that you should not be here. And we do not want to hurt you. We're not these kind of people, you know. Say you are hikers. There are people on the road want to steal your money, leave you for dead. We are not them. But what we are doing, you cannot know about. And with your cooperation, you can continue on your way. But we will need to examine the things that you have. You may have come in here wanting to be caught. We do not know. So I'm going to ask for you to leave these things with me, and for you to be escorted to somewhere else. You will be detained separately. I cannot say for how long. What is your reaction to this?
Can I insight check him again?
Yeah, you can.
19.
Again, truthful up front. Not trying to be threatening, honestly just laying it out, what's going to happen. You get the sense that he's telling you these things and hasn't like revealed loads or anything, but has told you what they're doing is secret, isn't trying to hide the fact that it's secret, and you're like, he doesn't expect us to be able to tell anyone that what they're doing here is secret and should be kept that way.
So it's secret from everyone then? You're not working for the government or...
It doesn't matter who we are working for, reporting to, but we cannot have you talking about these things, what you may have seen, where we are.
And if we don't?
I have asked politely. The outcome will be the same, just more unpleasant for you.
And if we ask that you do not separate us?
You do not have a choice in this matter.
Right, don't like that. One little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna glance at her twin.
Wrath will keep the ring of mind shielding on and like not take it off. And it says, as an action, I can cause the ring to become invisible. Whilst Wraith was talking with them, can I do it? Because it doesn't say that that's verbal.
Roll sleight of hand.
Oh! Of a 19... 20!
Nice.
I take it you didn't sell that bit of jewellery.
No, because, I mean, it can be invisible. It's that, well, like, magical item that I got from Harvey a long time ago.
Remind me what the Ring of Mind Shielding does again. Like, what its actual power is.
I can't remember where we got it, but it was like loot. Can I ask for it from Harvey? Because while wearing this ring, you are immune to magic that allows creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. Creatures can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it.
Nice, cool.
You can. That's the extent of it.
Yeah. It turns invisible seemingly unnoticed. No one calls you out on it.
The best.
Dr. Kochi looks at you, Wraith, the one that's been doing the talking, and says, will you allow this to happen? To tell your allies, your fellow hikers, to go calmly and willingly? So many weapons for hikers. We do not want trouble.
Dangerous times.
Are they? Who told you that?
You never know what you can find in the wild. There's all sorts of things out there.
You know, frogs have got particularly murderous these days. I'm just gonna tell you, like.
We've had our fair share of runnings with crocodiles.
Interesting. Not many crocodiles in the mountains. Where have you come from?
Oh, we're just hiking across the Pari.
Okay. So, will you convince your fellow hikers to do as I ask?
Steph wants to say yes so bad. Like, go Willy, go easy. I don't know if Ray's gonna go into captivity that easy.
I'm the same for the same reason.
Luca and Tucky, what are you thinking?
I think Tucky would be like, yes. And like elbowing his friend, like, yes. Yes, you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luca's like leaning more towards Toki's kind of calm demeanor.
In his eyes to his sister, he's like trying to like communicate. Do you want me to set off this bomb right now? Because I fucking will.
Jigsaw.
I think Ray's having a moment. There's probably, if Wrath is like looking at Wraith in the eye, you can see there's some panic happening deep down in there, like struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He'll just like, I presume I'm standing next to you in this room. He'll like hold like her arm, like trying to like comfort, even though he knows they're fucked. Like, we're so outpowered here. And like he's trying to ascertain what she wants to do. She too, yeah. Oh no. That's gonna set him off! I don't know. If he's seeing a system like that, I don't think he's gonna go down lightly. I really don't.
What are you doing? Action. What are you doing?
He'd wait for Wraith to react first.
Fine.
Okay.
And Wraith's gonna like clamp down on this little bit of emotion that's toying, and just sort of like neutrality goes over again. That very much that trained expression you've seen her fall back on.
Yeah. As you say fine, Dr. Kochi nods, smiles and says, I knew you were a sensible bunch. My associate here will see you to your new quarters and we'll go from there. And you willingly leave the room, all of you, leaving behind the majority of your possessions. Some of you did keep some. And you begin to walk down this long corridor. And just before you're kind of back in the present, memory recovered, you see one of the people in front of you, one of the guards who's escorting you, opens the door at the end of the corridor, and you see that room with the rift that you're currently standing in. And now you are in that room. And the corridor that you came down from Dr. Kochi's office was to like the west of this square room, and you came in through the east just now.
Straight across then.
Yeah. Retrace our footsteps.
Wrath, now that you have remembered this, you couldn't see it because you'd made it invisible, but you're able to feel that ring on your finger now. They never took this from you. You managed to keep it hidden. But other things that you tried to conceal, all of you, those are gone and taken.
Now would be a really great time for Galen to like show his knightly self, dive on in. Nothing, Toki?
You think I'm that powerful?
Yeah, well, opening a few doors, stopping a couple of bad guys.
They must know we're able to handle it ourselves.
Faith and pixie dust. Okay. Wraith will then go to the door to the west and listen. Do the now routine. Listen. Test the door. Look.
Nice. Cool. As you kneel down, listen at this door, could everyone just roll me a d20 and just let me know what you get?
Is there time to do something?
No. Steph and Eleanor, can you re-roll? Nice. Wraith, you crouch down, you listen at this door. And then you have a piercing headache. And it's like your brain is trying to force something out of your mind, and you are slammed back to that day that you crossed the border from Zapreus into Regine with the Stodromo. It's nighttime now. You've crossed over successfully, and you're standing at the front of the boat, taking a breath of air in a new country, in a new land. Quiet. Doesn't seem to be an activity going on, but what are you doing on this evening?
Probably sitting on the prow of the boat, the front cockpit, bundled in a blanket because it's chilly up here. Just watching the land go by. She's probably still more on alert than she has been in the past few months at least. But like, this is early doors, so she'd probably be quite watchful at this point.
Yeah, 100%.
Still.
Yeah.
So she's basically like on self-imposed watch.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, roll a perception check on it.
9.
Yeah, it's quiet. Nothing of note around you. Just the sun setting in the distance. And yeah, you're right. You feel this is early doors. A fair while ago, you've come a long way since then. And you just sit there and you take a breath and you think about all the things that Wraith has done up to this point, and the way that she has to go. And as you sit there, listening to the silence, you stagger forwards, and you are back in the present, having just relived that moment on your own, on the river, at the front of the Stodromo boat. And you're listening at this door.
Throw a hand out to steady myself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the rest of you see Wraith nearly fall over.
Can I help catch her, help steady her?
Headache or something. And then I'll go back to listening.
You don't hear anything.
Test the door.
Door opens and you see a familiar long corridor. The one that ends in Dr. Kochi's office.
We head down the corridor, stealthily. Yeah?
Yeah?
Before... Unless anyone else wants to say so. Whilst people are starting to leave, Raph will cast Find Familiar. Like, pat Fenrir on the head, point to the rift, and say, go explore, buddy. And then he'll go and follow everyone else.
Let's hope that barrier's not alarmed.
Oh shit! I didn't think of that!
We're cooked.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. I apologise, everybody.
You may not be able to get through.
True.
Unless you summon someone on the other side of it. If you could.
Are you, just to save our asses, you definitely able to cast Find Familiar because you don't have your focus or your components?
You're right, I can't cast it.
Oh.
Shit! I forgot that I didn't have them again. My bad.
Okay.
I can't. Raph goes to think that would be a cool thing to find out what's on the side of the rift and be like, can't do it. What a shame. Follows.
Yeah, you feel two lines diverge.
Yeah.
And the thread of that tapestry unravels, and then you're back on the one that you're on now.
Fenrir would have had a fun fucking trip, let me tell you.
You find yourself back in this room. Fenrir is beside you.
If you're doing a great stealth check, everyone roll me stealth, please.
God damn it, I wanted to know where it went. Oh, lads, I'm sorry again.
Oh
my God,
Wait,
I got a natural 20. I got a natural 20.
Nice.
So that comes out as 28.
Got that one, lads.
Just, was it a 20, sorry, instead?
Yeah, it was a natural 20.
28 is crazy. Have we had a 30 roll yet? I don't think anyone's even capable of it yet. Maybe the rogues are. I don't know.
No,
I'm not. No, my highest modifier is 7.
mine is 8.
Oh,
That's my max.
get there.
You open this
We're only
door.
level 4.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. No. You open this door and you creep through, and Wrath, your foot catches on like the door frame just as you kind of start to go through, and as you do, it's like you kick the door and you accidentally kick the door closed, and it sort of like doesn't slam shut, but in the silence there is the sound of a door closing. And now you're in a corridor.
This brother.
Corridor goes along this way, yeah? You're my watch.
Yeah.
Dr. Koch's office is up here.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a battle map, like bird's eye view, right?
Yeah,
And so this is like
yeah,
north
yeah.
and this is south.
Okay.
Dr. Koch's office is here. There's one door here. There's one door right here next to you. One here, and then one here. And then one at the very end of the corridor as well.
We pause. Any reaction to that slam?
How long are you pausing for?
Not long.
What's not long?
4
Oh.
seconds.
Roll
Wrath
a
hasn't
perception
moved.
for me.
I think
Actually,
he's
no,
just going for this.
don't roll a perception because you're not doing anything.
Passive 21.
You hear from the end of the corridor, like past one of the doors, you don't know which, footsteps.
I go to the nearest door.
Mm-hmm.
Are the footsteps coming from that door?
No.
I listen for a single second at the door,
Mhm.
maybe 2.
Quiet in that.
I open the door
Mm-hmm.
and ushers the others inside.
Yeah. So yeah, Wraith ushers you in. Are you all going in?
Yeah,
So
okay.
Gotta get out of this place.
You emerge into what looks to be kind of a small library, like small, sort of like 20 foot by maybe 40. Tall shelves line the wall, all stacked with books, and there's 3 desks, all sort of facing the same direction. And there's a globe, like a globe of Uriel, in the corner. As you step into this room, Toki, it's like the room blurs and your brain tries to make sense of what it's seeing, and then all of a sudden you are sitting in a lecture theatre. And next to you, Valeria is like head in her hand, and she's like, I had forgotten that we had a 9 a.m. lecture after brunch, bottomless brunch yesterday. Toki, how do you look? So you had as many peach bellinis as we did. And
You know,
see
just
Amma
gotta
and
drink
Victoria also
water.
looking at it. They're like, you could have made us drink some water as well. And Amma is like, yeah, Toki, I feel like you really did us dirty there, and I know you're upset about the project and you're not having as much luck as the rest of us, but you can't take it out on us by letting us get drunk on a softer before a 9 a.m. Magda lecture.
You're all adults. I had to go to dinner.
Oh, wait, dinner.
Dinner.
Oh, fuck, how was that?
I don't remember that well. Fine, I think.
Excellent. And, did you talk about the presentation?
No, we did not.
And you look around.
I'm not making a move.
No? Someone's got to make the first move.
Well, it can be him.
It's been like 2 weeks.
If he wanted to work with me, he would come and work with me.
I suppose. Not like you need him or anything.
No, I'll just do it myself, and I don't know, figure it out.
And you see at the front of the class, Adelard stands up, claps his hands together, and he's like, okay, looking at anthropology today, how that intersects with hagiography, and begins to go into a full lecture. After a little bit of time, like, you look over and you see that Victoria has actually fallen asleep, and Amma is like nudging her to wake up. And you see, sitting alone in kind of a large lecture theatre, just taking notes. Kind of curled, dark hair, back of the head, and you just stare straight through it. And then, in the present, you stumble back, having relived that moment.
Talking quietly.
I slammed the door.
Yeah, and we're dealing with that situation. Wraith is shutting the door behind them and listening at the door.
As you listen at the door, you hear footsteps. You hear a door open, another door close. The footsteps walk down a little bit, stop. And then it's quiet for maybe a minute.
Check the books, check the books. Wraith keeps listening.
Yeah. After about a minute, you hear the footsteps retreat, and the door opens and then closes, and you don't hear the footsteps anymore.
Oh, not our door. Right. They've gone back to where they were. Do I roughly gauge which door it sounded like they went in?
Roll a history check. See if you can sort
We
of
were
match it
just
up.
in the corridor. It's a 4.
No, just the other end of the corridor than the one that you entered.
Cool. In which case, Wraith is gonna do what she do best. She's gonna snoop.
Mhm.
Like, what are the books on? What does the globe look like? Are there any loose papers that I can not get set fire to this time?
Yeah, roll an investigation check. And what the rest of you
Can
do?
I
Go for it. Yeah,
just
yeah,
also look through the books? Was what I was
yeah.
going
Yeah,
to say.
investigation. Tucky and Luca, what are you doing?
Can I have a look at the globe
Mm.
and see, like, what's kind of facing outward? Like, what if I can determine what someone was, like, looking at last?
Nice. I'll say just looking at it, it's like Caldetta is kind of facing outwards, so like
Okay.
Caldetta Rockport, that side of the, looking at Lipari and those two.
Yep.
Yeah, the other continents are sort of more towards the back. Luca?
If the others are snooping, I will stick by the door and keep
Nice.
an ear out.
Cool, nice one, excellent. Could you roll me a perception check?
I certainly can. That's an 8.
Okie dokie. With the nat 20 and the 19, you're looking through the books, kind of looking. There's some books left open on the desks. There's a map on one of the desks as well that just seems to be the current region, the area that you're in. Kind of resembles the map, to be fair, that Toki bought from the general goods store in Iron Diglados. And then the books themselves are books on magic, like magical theory, not like magical in themselves. You've got sort of books kind of around like artificing a little bit, almost engineering, and then books on the rift and planar travel, books on the different school of magic, Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Do you grab any books? Let me know.
Yeah, I'll grab the books on Rifts and Plane and Travel.
Yeah, Rifts and Plane and Travel. Could you put
Anything
in the
that-
chat of Roll20 what kind of books you're taking? And then I'll remember to give them to you properly. This is like a
Sorry, Lol.
note taking.
What were the other books other than the Rifts of Plane and Travel again?
Rifts, Plane and Travel, the different
Oh, it was
schools of
artificing and
magic.
engineering.
Yeah.
Are there any books with spells in, perhaps?
No.
No.
Wraith's probably scanning the books and then like scanning any notes, or like she's used to walking in a room being like, we're going to take as much information mentally down as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Does she find any like papers or journals?
No,
or
there seems to be a library rather than like a communal area, rather than someone's left their notes out here. But there are books on the desk, and there's some books open. You go over there, but they are just books that someone was referencing, not taking notes themselves.
Wraith will take the engineering and artificing books just for
Cool.
fun, please.
Good, take a couple of them. Yeah. Toki, are you doing anything else? You've looked at the globe.
I'll leave the twins to raid. I'm quite desperate to get my stuff back to Venice, so I'll just come stand with Loka and keep watching.
Nice one.
There's books, Toki. Come on now.
Actually, I forgot to say, there is at the front and on the very front desk, and I'll say Wraith, you notice it because you're like idly flipping through some of these books on artificing and engineering, and it like catches your eye. There's like twinkle of gold in the corner, and you're like, oh, loop. And then you go to the front desk, and it's a small contraption, sort of, I don't know, this big, size of a teapot, made of gold, like filigree, and loops and spirals. Looks a little bit like a globe, but hollow, with small balls in it that are like connected to the outside loop.
Anyone got any ideas what this could be?
Identify.
Do you cast
Can
Identify?
you cast it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck sake! These material components are fucking me up! Wait a minute.
Anyone
take a look at
recognise
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, do any
Do
of
I
us
take a
recognise
look?
it?
Roll me a history check to see if any of you recognise this sort of thing.
I'm never gonna. Okay. I never knew material components could fuck you up so much. Oh my god.
On top of you.
We're truly just either end of the spectrum tonight. Nothing in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah. Toki's like, he feels the peach leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toki's still feeling the peach please from that memory he had to relive, but the rest of you are like, it's not exactly the same, and it's smaller, and there are differences, but damn, this looks like that thing in Cecilia's tower.
I think this tower. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. But
This is coming with us.
It's back again.
Okay.
It's not exactly the same, but it's the same type of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, sure, pick it up. And it's heavy, it's got like a solid base, and that's the main heaviness to it. But yeah.
When I cast Identify on you!
Right.
I'm allowed.
The door. Listen again.
Yes, so Luca and Toki have been listening. I'll say both of you there listening out, you don't hear anything on the inside.
Right.
Oh, the music.
Down to the
Shit.
office.
Let's go.
Yeah. You...
Nat ones have we rolled? Sorry, Lawrence. Sorry, I'm not sharp.
No, you're good, mate. You're good. I love it. You exit the room, and you head down the corridor, heading in the direction of what you remember to be Dr. Kochi's office. Yeah. What are you doing? You get there. You get to the room, the door that you remember as the room to the office.
Listen at the door.
Roll my perception check.
24.
You hear someone in there. No one's walking around, but every now and then you hear the squeak of a chair.
We have company. Wrath. Do you still have detect magic up?
I should.
I
Maybe
think it's
actually
probably
might.
dropped by now. It's only 10
Yeah,
minutes, right?
I can cast it again because it's one of the few things I can cast.
Because would you then recognize the flair of our items? Like my blink dagger or
My sword.
Box.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. I can track the items. Yeah, let's
they
pop
may
that
not
again.
be in his room anymore.
Yeah, they might have moved.
How long does it take you to
Oh.
cast that spell? Like, is
One
it a
action?
ritual
It's just
or,
casting
like,
time.
whatever? Cool.
Well, it is a
Awesome.
ritual spell,
But
but
you've got
I
it
like
prepared.
have.
and-
Yeah.
Cool. You cast the spell, and you get a blink of all those things just in the room where that cabinet was.
We have good and bad news. Our things are close by. Yep.
We could try and draw him out somehow.
Yeah.
We just need him to just go down another corridor. I'm looking at my mage hand cantrip. Like, what can I do with you?
Is there
And
a
I
door
don't know.
opposite?
There is a door kind of opposite. There's
Can I listen at that door?
actually for this I have built this little bit. I'm gonna send you like a screenshot of
Sure.
just kind of where the let me zoom out a bit. I'll send you a screenshot where the doors are in this corridor, but there's like
I can cast Thunder Wave. I'm not going to, but I can. I'm throwing it out there.
I wonder if that's gonna no, I have to do it on Messenger. Give me a sec. Just a bit easier than me describing.
4 spells I can cast.
So
Wrath cast Thunder Wave.
on
Your mage
Messenger,
hand closes the door. We hide in the room.
on Messenger, the door to the very far, like right, is the door that leads to the rift room. Dr. Kochi's office is the one with that red rug just in front of the door.
Okay.
And then the library you hid in is the one, like the door that goes to the rift room is the one like along down, and there's a tiny little blue globe, not to be confused with the other globe in the other room.
Yep.
So the rift is like the open archway.
Yeah,
on the far
yeah, I forgot I designed
side.
it with open archways. There's doors there now, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, we could do that. We could do that.
The old lob of Thunder Wave.
Yeah. So I listen at the door almost opposite
Hmm.
to see if I hear anyone inside.
Yes, you do not hear anything in there.
Okay. In which case I peer into it.
Okay, you peer into it, and this opens into another kind of 25-foot long corridor with 2 doors. One just to the left of you, and then one at the end on the right.
I listen to the closest one.
Don't hear anything.
What are we doing?
Well, if we did throw caution to the wind, at least we could get our stuff back.
If it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but how are we gonna get out? I feel like they overpowered us once.
How are we gonna get out with none of our stuff though?
What spells can you cast?
I can cast da-da-da-da-da-da. Detect Magic, Ray of Sickness, Shield, Silvery Barbs, Thunder Wave. Suggestion! I can tell him to fuck off!
Can you? Because
I can
suggestion
cast.
hasn't got any material components.
Nope, verbal and somatic, baby. Let's fucking go. I thought I could only cast 4. I can cast 5. I love you, suggestion.
That's suggestion, that bastard. And if it all goes south, I've got a couple of things I can cast.
We can just knock and suggest that he gives us our stuff and lets us go.
I can suggest, yeah.
Yeah.
Worst
Let's
case
just-
scenario, I
let's
stab
be
her with this and she
peacefully-
lifts the pencil out of her hair.
If anyone could kill a man with a pencil, Wraith, I believe it's you.
Mhm.
Oh, that's the nicest thing you ever said to me, Tori. Okay.
Lauren, quick question.
Yeah.
Did the spells I cast in these, not memories, but when we went to other places, or went back in time, did those spells count for my spell economy now?
So,
Did we have a long rest?
yeah, no, so you are like missing one first level spell slot from when you cast Detect Magic, but you cast it as ritual, so no, actually you are fresh. You've only cast what you like think you have like cast, if that makes sense, like in session.
Okay.
Since you woke
okay.
up, I don't
So I'll
believe
cast
you cast
Detect Magic twice.
Mm.
And invisibility.
Yes, and invisibility in this one, yeah.
Well, invisibility was free. Like,
I'd forgotten
No, it
about
still
that.
counts.
Yeah. So yeah, that you
We've not
haven't
rested
got
since then.
whatever spell level invisibility is.
cool. That's second. Fuck, that hurts. Okay, no worries. Well, let's go.
Sorry.
No, it's alright.
That's
It's alright.
Thank you.
I've gained a first back. Alright. Oh, the music's got epic again. Oh my god.
Right. Do we knock on the door?
Maybe I should be alone. Because then at least none of you are made, like. But then
We
if
tucked around
one's
the
out, the
corner.
rest are out.
Yeah.
If the
fine.
suggestion doesn't work, just tackle him or something.
Yeah.
If
There's
the
5 of
suggestion
us against
doesn't
one
work-
other guy.
Code word.
If the
Code
suggestion
words.
doesn't work, you'll know something's gone wrong because I'll immediately cast Thunder Wave after it and you can hear the boom from 300 feet away.
There we go.
So everyone will fucking know.
Well, everyone in the
A
mountains
little
on us.
bit more stealthy than that.
Yeah, I could do a Ray of Sickness.
Do that one.
You have silvery barbs. You said you could cast that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have Silvery Bobs, which I plan to use on suggestion.
Yeah.
Because I anticipate them succeeding.
To be fair, if your silvery barbs fails, I also have silvery barbs.
Insane.
Okay. I also have silvery barb.
Oh my
so
god.
Great.
The 3 of us!
I have nothing and I think I'm still hungover.
Okay.
Yeah.
With 3 Silvery Bobs attempts on this motherfucker.
Right.
It does mean we do all have to be there, but
Yeah. We go out again. Wraith is just going to listen at this outer door, the one that leads out. And just
the one at the
test-
end of the corridor on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just test it to see that it's not locked in
Yeah, it's
advance.
not locked.
Excellent. I'm not gonna glance outside. I will glance outside. Very, very
Through the
discreetly.
door.
Yeah.
It opens into another corridor.
How many corridors does this place have?
Big place, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
but we vaguely remember our way to the office, don't we? So we can try and, if we can get our stuff, just go back
Yes.
the way we came.
Alright, let's do this then. Okay.
Oh, lads, you're gonna kill me.
No.
I just realised in my mind, I switched to S&M. I can't cast suggestion. I'm sorry. For some reason, I had registered M as S, and I saw a V/S for suggestion. And just as I looked at it, I was like, no.
So
Don't worry
I'm gonna
about
set
it.
the scene. I'm gonna say that Raph is standing there ready to knock on the door, and then goes, "Ooh, ooh,
You automatically reach your pocket and go,
ooh, shit, no, ooh." And as you,
I like-
Luca, watch Raph reach for his pocket,
No.
it's your turn to be hit by something that your mind does not want to fucking perceive, and you are back
God.
in Caldetil. You remember leaving Alanis back at the flat that you're sharing, and you're wandering the Canal District, and you're like, gotta make some money. Gotta make some money. You met her not too long ago, maybe 3 weeks, and you know it's been a few weeks since the. Don't apologise, April, at all. since Everett's day, so big celebrations. You managed to get quite a fair bit then. You were nicking from people, but now it's a little bit quieter, and just up ahead you see someone. Just check his coin purse at his side. Check his bag, and move on. But in doing so, draws attention to it.
Lovely. Well, I guess I'm gonna be doing my best to sidle up behind him, still mingling with the crowds as subtly as I can.
Roll a stealth check for me.
Just
Settling in.
do a little pinchy pinch. That is a... what are you? A 25.
25. Yeah, you blend in. You've gotten all right at this. Yeah, and it's not been like 3 weeks. It's been like 2 weeks since you moved in with Alanis. But in those 2 weeks, you have settled into a rhythm. And as you're like thinking, like you're like, I'm so good at this. You like cast back to a time when you didn't need to be good at this. Not even a year ago. And then you kind of do some maths. You're like, oh, it's coming up to a year since everything, just over 2 weeks. And then, well, how does that make look of him?
I think he's very prone to just like randomly being like, oh, my previous life, the life that I should have. But he knows he's got a focus. So it's very much like something to think about later, something and just like that just like stacks, like it's always been something to think about later.
Yeah, you put it away, and you kind of sidle up next to this guy blending with the crowd and roll me sleight of hand to see if you can hit his compass.
That is a 23.
You manage to lift it. You kind of have a small knife and you cut the tie on his coin purse, catch it as it falls away from his belt, and you are off with the crowd. You kind of stop eventually, check it, and yeah, there's like 5 gold in there. Not bad.
Nice. Gonna...
I did think that. One of them has not been born yet.
Yeah.
He'll hastily like round a corner, put some distance between him and the guy just in case. And I think he's gonna stop by a bakery and pick up a sweet treat for him and Alanis.
Nice.
To take home.
What are you picking up?
For Harvey, it is gonna be. I've forgotten every baked good. He's got such a sweet tooth, so something like a gypsy tart or something.
Oh, nice. Very Kentish. Love it.
Alanis, I have absolutely no idea what Alanis would like, but her favourite, if possible.
Nice. Yeah, I'll say you find something with a lot of like berries, like a really nice, a nice little tiny tart with lots of berries on it for Alanis. And yeah, you pay for those, and you leave the store, and you head back out into the night. And as you do, you like blink, you feel that lurching feeling your friends felt, and you're back in that corridor studying yourself. As Wrath is like, I don't have material components for this spell.
I just really slowly look back at my sister. And I'm like, I can't just... I slowly like rewind my steps. So we're going back to the big boom.
Oh, we just take him out?
Yep.
There's 5 of us.
And there's just one person in there, you think?
Sounds like it. If we big boom it, it's going to be more than one person.
Oh, I'm ready
We
of 6,
don't want a big
realistically. Yeah. Also, I mean, I wasn't going to do the big boom because the big boom may also destroy all of our belongings. It's collateral.
I will lug into the
Keep
wall.
my belongings.
If we can't have them, nobody can. No. I'll ray of sickness it. It's fine.
Yeah, I think if we can just disorient him. We've got rope. If we can grab our stuff and grab our rope, we can tie him up. Question mark.
Incredible. So as you stand there, ready to enact this plan, take a breath to yourself, and we'll leave it there, and we'll pick up next week.
Oh, I'm so stressed.
Oh. I love that.
I
Give
really
me a
enjoyed that.
suggestion. We've got 3 silvery
A
bottles.
tragedy.
It can't not work.
So sorry. I was so confident that I had read a V/S.
You're
And then
all good.
just as we did it, I was like, why does it say snake's tongue? Oh no.
I love the image of like every 30 seconds, Wrath is like, I've got a plan.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a plan.
I could have. I'm so sorry.
We
about-
believe him every single time.
Yeah.
You believe
Of course you can.
In fairness, Lauren was right. You questioned the. Are you sure? Is it just you really-
I feel like you
I'm
need something
stuck
for
too.
suggestion. I feel like I've said it as a chat.
I didn't think about if I sent Fenrir through the rift that it would be alarmed. I'm like, nothing will happen.
Lauren hesitated too long for that suggestion for me to be comfortable. I was like, can we
I was
start
really
this
like,
idea
okay,
right now?
Okay.
Fenrir's about to be blasted to hell.
We're all about to be blasted to hell. Oh man.
And I was like, can we figure out how they're fucking with it? Can I figure out where it goes to? I anticipated Fenrir might get blasted from it, but I could always bring him back, so he could feed back.
I just can't believe Wraith is gonna shank someone with a pencil.
I think this is your character evolution. Like, it's been a long time coming.
Anything can be a dagger if you try hard enough.
Exactly.